oh my gosh, I always have to be regulated. I always have to be in this like perfect, steady, grounded state. And like that's actually not attainable or even desirable. I tell people that like we want the system to be able to respond.
I'm Rachel, and you're listening to the Owning Your Sexual Self podcast. Hi, friends. Welcome back. We are talking about something that has been like so much on my radar lately. I joined another company. Yes, this girl, she does so many things, right? I got the private practice going and also was reached out by another sex coach and was like, "Hey, do you want to join our team doing sex coaching and being a support coach for the women going through this program?" And I literally could not say no to it. And Hannah, our guest for today, is who leads this. She is the leader of the Libido Fairy company. Follow her on Instagram at the Libido Fairy. 100%. Her content is freaking amazing. And we are talking today about one of the main aspects of the program that the women go through and a skill and a tool that she has actually helped me improve during my time with her. And we are talking about somatics and nervous systems tools specifically to help libido and sex. And a little bit about Hannah before I let her in. I don't know if you heard that little ding ding. She's in the waiting room. She's waiting. Hannah is a sex and intimacy coach, also known as libido fairy, as I mentioned. She specializes in helping low libido women unlock deeper connection and pleasure in their relationships. She has a background in somatic therapy, trauma-informed coaching, and holistic healing. Hannah empowers her clients to embrace their desires, communicate openly, and cultivate a thriving, intimate life. Her work has transformed the lives of hundreds of women, helping them break through blocks to experience more playful, passionate, and fulfilling relationships. And when she says hundreds of women, that is not a joke, y'all. The wait list for our program right now is a lot, hundreds, hundreds of women at this point on the wait list. And we can only open enrollment every couple months just based on the capacity that our coaches are able to take on. So, anyways, without further ado, let's jump into this. Let me let Hannah to the room here and let's get into talking about your nervous system and somatic work and how that can impact your sex life. Hello, Hannah. Welcome to the Owning Your Sexual Self podcast.
Thank you so much for having me, Rachel. I'm so happy to be here and chat with you and yeah, slice it up.
Yes, I know. I know I've shared this, but I feel like I've come full circle when I first like came across you as a human. And then I was just like, wow, what a cool person. Like she's doing all the things and then following your Instagram. And I said that in the intro, like y'all need to follow her, need to follow you because your stuff is so good. And then just what a gift to now be a part of your team and getting to learn from you and learn aside you and coach with you and it's just been so awesome. And so our discussion today, getting into the somatic side of the work that we get to do. And you are just, yeah, like all hail Hannah. Like you just speak on it so well and just like your vibe. I feel like you just embody somatics so well. So anyways, I will stop rambling. Thank you again for being here, you little somatic sensual person.
I am literally not that cool, but thank you for that. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's just a pleasure to get to share this knowledge. That's really, really like I don't say this lightly. It has actually changed my life.
Yeah. Yeah, and tell us a little bit about that because you've done this. You're not just like you've learned this and now it's just a thing that you teach. Like you learned by essentially learning it for yourself to start. And so what was that? Yeah, as much as you'd like to share on your own journey with this, what was that like?
Yeah, I love telling my story because it's like different in different contexts every time. I think the pieces of my story that are important in this context are like I had a lot of really negative sexual experiences or what I would categorize as not pleasant, not pleasurable sexual experiences from very early on, 12 years old, all the way up to 26. It was a lot of sex for validation, a lot of not embodied sex, not pleasurable sex, sex to please other people, not really for myself, not having orgasms, some non-consensual experiences. And sex was something that for me felt like a trading card. Like, okay, I'll trade you sex and you give me affection and love. And that worked for a while, but I was in this longer term relationship where my partner had a much higher sex drive than me. And sex really started to become an issue in that relationship. And we tried all kinds of things to fix it. And none of those things worked. Things like using toys and going to strip clubs and wearing lingerie. And I tried libido gummies and like all the little hormone, like natural hormone things. And um, I really did not feel confident in myself. I had a lot of body image issues. I was very disconnected from my body, even though I had done at that point upwards of 8 years of various types of therapy. Um, I hadn't made a connection to my body. I hadn't really learned anything about my sexuality or spent time feeling my emotions. I was a very type A, let me just like dissociate and get shit done. And that's how I'm successful. And when our relationship ended in a very dramatic way, I was also discovering kink for the first time and started exploring my sexuality. And it led me down this path of like, oh, there is so much in my body that I have never experienced, both pleasure and pain. And so when I started diving into sexuality, it just so happened that it coincided with finding a really good somatic therapist and diving into somatics as a practitioner to learn skills and then also to like do it for myself and receive somatic therapy. And it was like that just the coinciding of those two things at the same time was like, oh my God, there's a whole world in my body that I have never tapped into or really explored, and so much power and freedom available there, and information about myself, and release of all of the tension that I felt in my body, and pleasure available. It just,
Mm.
yeah, like that's the before and after transformation of my life.
Yeah. Yeah, and I would imagine like in being kind of experiencing this similarly for myself, not obviously in the same story and journey that you've had, but when when I've had that moment of like actually feeling in my body and like my body is kind of doing things. I like recently, I think you or Molly was somebody led me through something, and my eyes were going crazy. Like my eyes were shut, but it was like it felt like paranormal activity in my eyes essentially. And I feel like sometimes with this work, like it can feel scary. It can feel a little bit out of control. It's like you're in control. You're finally giving yourself permission to go there and like your body to be seen in that way. And then, yeah, when it does what it's doing, or yeah, like exciting, nerve sighted, right? We use that phrase a lot, like exciting, nervous, like kind of like what the fuck is happening here? Like I am this powerful fucking witch of a being, right? Like,
For sure. I mean, the biggest fear that I think people have in going into the body and feeling their emotions is exactly what you pointed to, that it will get out of control. Like they'll open some floodgate that they've had this really tight lid on for so long, and they won't be able to close it or handle it, and it's just going to ruin their entire life. And I get it.
Mhm.
I had that fear too. But every time I've gone into my body and actually allowed myself to feel something, I picture it like a kettle that's boiling, and I've just kept this lid on this kettle for so long. And when I go in and feel it, I take the lid off and let the steam out, and so the water can come down from a boil to something that's it's actually a more comfortable temperature.
Mm, yeah. Oh, what a great analogy. That reminds me of a reel that you did recently of like with your little teapot. And I'm like, God, she is just a fucking genius. So good. It just
I love a metaphor.
yeah, it's serious. It does. It just makes it more understandable. I think a lot of my maybe previous resistance to somatic work was just the big words like polyvagal, dysregulation, like dysfunction, like not so much dysfunction because that comes up a lot in sexuality, but just yeah, these words, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't, like it just feels like a lot. So when you, yeah, just the way that you explain the content, and that's why I asked you on the show today is to like make it understandable for people, so that it does feel more realistic to be able to apply.
Yeah, definitely. I'm here for it. I'm here to take things that feel like maybe a little complicated or a little woo-woo or a little out there and just really ground it so people can have access to the tools that are really, really important and really powerful
Yeah.
in this. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard maybe it was you or something I heard recently was you kind of alluded to this earlier. Like I tried the gummies, I tried the hormone supplement, I tried all of the things, and those are all examples sort of like reaching out for those external things, those other things like I can do this to try to fix it, right? Like I can take the weight loss supplement, I can take this edible to feel in the mood, right? Those are all external, but I feel like the real flex is when we actually go internal and like to be noticing like how again just how much power we have, like how much healing we have within our own means by doing like this type of work, for instance, um is incredible. And I also too wanted, there was another thing I wanted to name, coming from the background of talk therapy for the last decade, whether it be in the therapy role or the coaching role, mainly like I wasn't doing a lot of work. I would dabble like in some in-person events, like my women's circles and doing Reiki and things like that, dabbling with some bodic slash somatic stuff. But I really like I didn't name it as that. I couldn't name it as that. Um, but now, like I've said this again, like when I recorded your intro, I was like, since having this information since November, I've now brought it into my own therapy clients as well as our students in the program, and I'm just like, wow, like I feel like I'm walking away from my days. This is transformational shit. Like the experiences that clients are having, like, holy fuck. Like it is so powerful. I feel like that is the fucking buzzword of this episode. It's so powerful, powerful, powerful. But it just is, it is what is real.
Well, I'll share like the actual impact for me in my life. Like, what is the tangible thing that feels so powerful? It's like I feel in the driver's seat. I know that no matter what I feel, I have the capacity to express it and to respond appropriately. I don't ever feel like my emotions are going to run my life or ruin my life. I feel more connected to myself and to people. I feel really strong and like have a big capacity for my work. And throughout my cycle, I'm really in tune with my body and how I feel and can adjust my needs appropriately. I know what I need. Oh my God, I know what I need for the first time in my entire life. I was like, holy shit, I can identify what I need in this moment. And that was a huge shift for me that happened as a result of that. So when we say, and like, I mean, more buzzwords, like I feel so confident in myself. I feel like I love my body. I really appreciate what I can do in my body, and all of those things, like the actual self-love, I think comes from being able to recognize, oh, I'm feeling this way and that's okay. And here's what I need. That's like actual self-love in action.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for sharing. And yeah, I think that's what it is. And kind of going back, like there's the talk therapy and there's somatic work, but it really is the combination of both, because when you're leading somebody through somatic, you're talking about it afterwards, right? Like we have some pretty impactful questions that we're asking people to be able to help them go there. And, for some people, there might be that resistance to it of like, I can't tell you what feels open. I can't tell you what feels, present in my body. What do you mean breathe into my leg? Like just things like that. And that was me. I'm like, what do you mean breathe into my leg? What the fuck? But yeah, people that are trained in this, like we got you, right? And that's like something that you do so well. Is just yeah, holding that space for people to be able to go there. And then eventually, yeah, them being able to do it on their own.
Oh, yeah, that's the best.
Mhm.
That's the best is that these tools are not just things that you need a facilitator for. Obviously, you can go much deeper if you have a facilitator and someone holding you in the space that's a professional. And I recommend that's how you get access to the tools. But you can also use all of these on your own.
Yeah.
All of the breathing is free, meditation is free, internal sensing of your body's sensory experience is 100% free and super easy to do.
Mhm.
So, yeah,
Touching yourself also free.
touching yourself 100% free, walking outside and looking at the trees is 100% free.
Yeah. Ah, so good. Hey everyone. Are you tired of tossing and turning at night, struggling to find the perfect comfort for a good night's sleep? Well, I've got quite a treat for you today. Introducing Cozy Earth Bedding. Cozy Earth products are designed to transform your 5 to 9, that time that matters the most, into the coziest sanctuary. Their goal is to help you create a sanctuary within your home, a refuge from the demands of the outside world. They understand the significance of finding comfort and tranquility in the midst of our hectic lives. Your 5 to 9 should consist of the relaxation and rejuvenation, unwinding, and embrace a sense of calm. With Cozy Earth, you can transform your space into an elevated haven where serenity and renewal intertwine effortlessly. Let me highlight a few of their qualities. First, temperature regulation. Cozy Earth sheets are so breathable, you'll sleep several degrees cooler. I kid you not, this has been so fascinating for us. Enhanced fabric. Durable weave fabric that won't pill, guaranteed for 10 years. And I can attest to this because we have already had to wash our sheets a couple times, and so far they have still stayed 100% intact. Superior softness. I cannot stress this one enough. The ultimate ingredient for a luxurious sleep is softness. Cozy Earth uses only the best fabrics and textiles to enhance that. And I'm not kidding you. Every time I pull my sheet up, I say to Danny, "Oh my gosh, these sheets are so soft. I just love these so much." And responsible production. They pride themselves on the responsible production of all of their products. And lastly, get this, durability and commitment to quality. Cozy Earth bedding products have a 100-night sleep trial and a 10-year warranty. That is how much they believe in their products. As I said, I've had the pleasure of sleeping on their products, their bamboo sheet set for the last few weeks, and both Danny and I are amazed at what a difference this has made in our comfort and our quality of sleep. Already, I've been peeking on the website, like, what else can we get to add to our luxurious life? With Cozy Earth's bamboo sheet set, luxury starts where you rest. Your bedroom should be more than just a place to sleep, it should be a retreat. And Cozy Earth's best selling bamboo sheets are buttery soft, temperature regulating, and crafted for 5-star comfort every night. They also have their luxe bath sheets. Wrap yourself in everyday indulgence. Cozy Earth's luxe bath sheets bring spa like softness into your home. They are oversized, like these bath sheets are huge, ultra absorbent, and so, so soft. Whether you're looking for sheets, duvet covers, or even loungewear, Cozy Earth has got you covered. Plus, with their eco friendly practices, you can feel great about your choice to invest in quality and sustainability. Luxury shouldn't be out of reach. So why wait? Treat yourself to luxury you deserve. Head over to cozyearth.com and use my promo code RachelM, that's Rachel M as in Maine, for an exclusive 40% off their best-selling sheets, towels, pajamas, and more. And if you happen to get a post purchase survey, let them know that you heard about Cozy Earth right here on the Owning Your Sexual Self podcast. Sanctuary awaits at Cozy Earth.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like we like skated around it. We buttered them up. They're ready. Let's start with like what is somatic work? Like, do you feel like you have a good definition of this to be able to explain it to people?
I think that the word somatics comes from the origin soma, which is Greek for the body.
Mhm.
And so the study of somatics is all about creating connection to the body and using the natural resources and sensations and emotions and experiences that are happening in the body to create more aliveness, to create a relationship to the world that is more empowered, really. Yeah. So that's kind of like the definition that I would go off of.
Yeah, I love that. Like, yeah, like really just creating more self-awareness and attunement with self, which I guess is self-awareness, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a set of tools. Somatics are is a modality that includes a set of tools for being able to sense what's happening inside of you and your body so that you can make choices that are informed by you and your needs and interpret those signals of what's happening inside to, yeah, aid the choices that you're making for your life.
yeah, yeah. And so then somatic work works around the concept of polyvagal theory. Can you tell us what that is? And that's one of the big words that I mentioned earlier, like when I learned about this stuff. So yeah, like give us a good definition of what that means.
We're gonna go super high level, very, very simple
Okay.
with this.
Okay.
So, polyvagal theory, in essence, is a theory to describe the states of our nervous system. Polyvagal comes from the vagus nerve, is like the core nerve that runs from the back of our brain all the way down our spine. And our nervous system is a series of nerves that spread out from that main nerve that runs down our spine. um, when we impact that nerve through our breathing or through other sensory inputs, the signals that go to that nerve dictate how we feel, how much energy we have in our system. So there's three kind of states our bodies can be in, three energy states that are impacted by the nervous system. And these are the signals that are like coming out through all of our nerves, through that main vagus nerve, and like impacting our experience of the world. So
Mhm.
those three states are regulation, which is inside of the window of tolerance. This is like the middle of the energy spectrum. In this energy spectrum, we can consider the consequences. We can use higher order thinking. We can focus and logic and reason and problem solve. We are able to create and be creative. We have a sense of curiosity. We're aware of ourselves, we're aware of time and space and other people. We can have great conversations. Can feel feelings of joy and love and peacefulness and patience and gentleness and openness. Like all of those feelings come in that window of tolerance, that little regulation zone, which is like, yay, we love being there. The other two nervous system states, which are both normal, I want to preface that all of these states are normal states that our body gets into, different energy states. There's hyperarousal, which is essentially there's a lot of energy in the system. And people describe this energy state most of the time as like fight or flight. So when you have too much energy in your system, you might want to use that energy to fight against whatever is causing you to feel that energy, or you might want to run away from whatever is causing you to feel that energy. In that excitement, hyper arousal state, you can't really register consequences. You often feel defensive. There's yelling maybe that happens. There's like you're hyper alert, hyper vigilant. Rage can happen there, panic, fear, stress, and you're kind of in survival mode when you're in that like intensity place. It's too much energy in the system. The opposite is hypoarousal. So when there's too little energy in the system, you're also in survival mode, but you're in a shutdown.
Mhm.
So that's kind of a freeze state. You may feel like you're blank or checking out or not in your body, dissociated, very sluggish, slow, tired, kind of like you're in a trance or you're just enduring. If you like kind of zone out, you're kind of like in that hypo arousal state, numbness, and like not really feeling anything. So these are kind of the three states of the nervous system, and all of them are totally appropriate responses to our environment. I think that there's like the buzzword that goes on, which is like nervous system regulation, is like, oh my gosh, I always have to be regulated. I always have to be in this like perfect, steady, grounded state. And like that's actually not attainable or even desirable. I tell people that like we want the system to be able to respond. Like we want your body to be able to see a threat in your environment and then go, I need to run away. immediately and
Mhm.
like flood the body with cortisol and get you the fuck out of there so you're safe. Like those are good. What often happens in our like in the world that we have going on right now is we are constantly receiving perceived threats to our system. And so we end up kind of stuck in either a shutdown freeze state or a stress cycle, because we don't most people don't necessarily have tools for helping them come back into a window of tolerance, which is what your body should be able to do on its own. But because we're plugged into a phone all day, we're scrolling on the phone all day, we're like in like perceived high stress work environments, we're on screens all the time. Uh, high people run pretty high anxiety or pretty shut down. Um, it's hard, I think, for a lot of people to know how to be even in that window of tolerance now.
Mhm.
So that's the spiel.
Yeah. Such a good like breakdown of it. Thank you so much. And yeah, I like that you normalized it. Like these are normal states that we're going to be in. And so yeah, you're right. There is a lot of buzzing around like be regulated, like get grounded, and like yes, that's what we're saying to do, but also yeah, someone's coming at you. Or I also feel this to be true, like if I'm at a party or I'm just at a friend's house or something, and just all of a sudden I feel like we gotta go. Like I can't explain it, but like there's something's brewing here, like something's in the air. Um, and after many conversations now, my husband finally believes me when I say like I don't act, like I can't explain it, but I just know like it's just, like my body is telling me. And so in some cases it's like trusting the nervous system, trusting the intuition, like trusting what's happening. One of my favorite affirmations, your body is a genius. It's like it's always trying to tell us something. But to link this now to sex and libido, right? You say this in one of your videos, like if your body is running from a bear, if your body thinks it's running from a bear, like it does not want to fuck, it does not want to reproduce. And so
No,
imagine, yeah, we're in like this state of dysregulation, and here our partners come up like, hey, well, you want to do it, right? It's like, fuck no. It's a terrible timing. But they
for
don't
sure.
know, right? They don't know.
No, no, no. They don't know for sure. And like the way it really influences libido is like again, if you're stressed at work all day and your like nervous system's all wound up and you're exactly like you said, getting chased by a lion or a tiger or a bear or whatever all day long, like if you're all wound up, it's so hard to flip the switch into regulation immediately. Like you just aren't going to be open to sex in that place. It's also biologically doesn't work,
Yeah.
like your blood flow is distributed differently. You will not be able to, like when you're burnt out and dysregulated, our system will stop sending signals to our genitals that we need for physical arousal to occur.
Mhm.
Like the body's like, we need to use all of the resources that we have to keep us safe from this perceived threat, whether we're shut down or we're freaking out. And so there's no additional resources for reproduction whatsoever. And
Yeah.
so if you feel like your libido is pretty shut down, it might be because you're dysregulated. You're either shut down and dissociated and numb, or you're too high anxiety and stressed, and you're in one of those outside of the window of tolerance zones. And that's the first order of business, is getting you back into the zone. Also, pelvic floor is impacted as well when you are stressed. And so stress management and relaxation and nervous system regulation directly impacts pelvic floor health
Yeah.
and relaxation and openness as well. So if you're having painful sex or you feel like you're always tense during sex, or like your pelvic floor can't relax, it may also be because of your nervous system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think too, like for people that are listening to this, just to be able to normalize this as an experience for them. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you can't get into a state of regulation, right? But I think in that example I just gave, right, like person comes up like, hey, you want to do it? Immediate reaction is like, fuck no. But on the other side of that is like, okay, if you look at it through curiosity and to be able to say, like, I'm feeling really anxious right now, or I'm feeling kind of numb or just like really disconnected right now, but I do want to connect with you. I do want to, be intimate with you, or possibly be intimate with you. So can we do XYZ? And maybe this is a good time for us to get into co-regulation to be able to, yeah, like center a little bit more. but yeah, without the expectation that it needs to be sex or penetrative sex. Um, because I think yeah, I just think that can help couples with the rejection piece of relationships so much. To
Yep.
just simply say, like, I want to be with you. I'm not feeling it right now. I want to be with you. So let's do these things to like see what happens from there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that's one of the most important things that I've learned in communication with my partner is how to say, I'm a no right now, but that doesn't mean that if we don't try a few things to help my body get in the zone and really relax, that I might turn into a yes. And instead of it always being an immediate no, which for me, as someone who has responsive desire and who is like very like locked in on work most of the time, if he's coming up to me to initiate, it's almost 100% of the time going to be a no off the bat for me. So knowing that about myself, the biggest shift for me again is just like, okay, I'm a no right now. And what would it take? If we actually take no out and say, well, what would it take? And am I willing to do that?
Mm.
Because I most of the time, and I think this is true for most people, if you do all the right things and really help your body relax and have plenty of a time and maybe what it would take is a vacation, I think it's really possible for most people to get there. But the question is like, well, okay, well, are you willing to do that? And some days, 100%, I'm willing to do the relaxation work and support myself in grounding and like get my body turned on and like do the things to get there because I know the pleasure on the other side is amazing. And some days I'm like, it's 9:30 p.m. So that's not going to happen today.
Always say that. I'm like, you had all day, all day. We've been chilling on the couch, and now we go to bed, and now, like, I'm in sleep mode, man. No.
No, no, no.
But yeah, all jokes aside, like, yeah, to be able to one, be willing and vulnerable enough to go there and yeah, not just because it's easy. It's easy for us to be like, nope, not today, right? And to go on the other side of that, get curious as you were just saying, but also then from your partner to be met with understanding and understanding that it's actually not normal that both of you are going to be turned on at the exact same time. Like it's just it's not. And yes, it seems, that men have more of that spontaneous desire, like they're more, it's like lightning bolt hits them, boom, I'm ready to fuck. And but for majority of women that doesn't happen. So if you can have that, yeah, like extend your lightning bolt moment to be more understanding of what she's going through. And then yeah, I alluded to the co-regulation, so tell us like what some of that could look like for couples to be able to do.
I want to zoom it out a little to all bridging activities because co-regulation I feel like is a subset of bridging activities and like I want to go co-regulation or go bridging activities to just general nervous system regulation to co-regulation. So
Perfect.
transition for me from like an initiation into sex requires a transitionary activity called a bridging activity. So this is really anything that I see it as creating a bridge from real life to sexy time.
Mm.
And so on that bridge, how to walk over that bridge. We could walk over that bridge with a walk together and talking about our day. We could walk over that bridge by I could get a massage. We could walk over that bridge by I just like take some me time, like listen to some music and take a nice long shower. There's many ways to go to make that transition. And underneath those many ways, like I think that at the top of everyone's list should be first and foremost regulating their nervous system.
Mhm.
So check clocking, where am I on that nervous system scale? Do I have too much energy in my system? Am I Goldilocks just right in the middle? Do I feel great? Or do I have not enough energy in my system and I feel like shut down a little bit? If I have too much energy in my system, maybe go I need to go for a walk. Maybe I need to exercise. Maybe I need to do some shaking or dancing and just kind of like shake it out and get all that energy out, like really thinking of it like, oh, I need to let off steam. And so what can I do to like get that energy out of my body and let off that steam? And then if it's too little energy in the system, it's like, okay, well, maybe I need to have a nice long bath. Maybe I need to rock nice and slow and sway to some gentle music to kind of wake my body back up. Maybe I need to do a little breath work and like get my body perked up, or maybe I need to go for a nice walk outside to like get some energy in from the outside. So just thinking in terms of that, and then your partner can assist you in all of those things. So that's co-regulation. So including your partner in it is a really great way to walk over the bridge together. So if your partner is the one initiating, you don't have to go, "Oh, give me 20 minutes." You can say, "Actually, I have like a little bit of stress in my system. Can we together connect through one of these activities?" So some of my favorite techniques are like a nice, really long hug, eye gazing, and just like meeting eyes with like 10 really nice, slow, deep breaths. Dancing together is amazing. That's good on so many levels because music is incredibly supportive for the nervous system. And it actually, if you play music together, this is scientifically proven. If you play music together and dance together, you're in instant rapport with someone. And so if you and your partner don't feel like you're on the same page, put on a song you both really love and either like dance silly to it together or dance like romantic to it together. It will do exactly the same thing for your brain. It's so good for you. Um, Holding hands, smushing, or like lying on top of one another is like really good. I love getting crushed and like that's like the best. Um, or like, yeah, just going for a walk together or showering together. Like those are really great co-regulation activities.
Hmm. Yeah. And like all of those things that you just said too, especially doing them together, I feel like that falls under the umbrella also of intimacy, right? Like those doing shared acts together. And we talk about a lot about like emotional needs and have people do an emotional needs inventory, which is super helpful, I think, for people as well, because those things, right? We talk about like their different size deposits. And so figuring out for you, I love the bridge analogy too. It's like, okay, what will it take? What do I need right now? And I think that's a huge thing that we help people with in the work that we do is like figuring out what it is that you need. I think a lot of people, not all, but a lot of people fall more into the people pleasing and constantly their whole life has been like, oh, I need, just as you shared in the beginning, I need to serve, I need to appease to them, I need to make them happy, I need to make them feel good. Like, screw what I feel, right? Like, it doesn't matter what I need. Um, yeah, so I love that. I love all of that. Just creating that little like love bubble with people is what comes up when you were saying those things.
Totally. Yeah. And if you don't know what you need, the best place to start is just try stuff.
Hmm.
Like, it's like, okay, I don't really know what I need, but like, here are like three things that I could maybe try and let me try them out and see if that gets me closer or not.
Hmm.
Um, Number scales work really well for me with clients too, is saying like, okay, right now I feel stressed at like an 8 out of 10. So let me try a couple activities and see which one impacts that number the most. So maybe taking some nice, slow, deep breaths only brings me down a 1, but going for a walk in nature takes me all the way down to a 2.
Mm.
So like noticing and playing with like which one is the most impactful and just testing stuff is the only way that you're really going to know and figure out what it is that you need and take inventory of that.
Yeah. Yeah, and kind of what you're getting at too is like not having expectation behind it, not going into it. It was like because then I feel like that sets people up almost for like feeling like they failed. Like, okay, this is going to work. I expect this is going to work. I'm gonna go from a 10 to a 2. But I feel like I use the word curious all the time now, but like just getting like, let's see, like like you just said, here's a menu of options that we have. Like, let's try these things. Either I'm gonna do them by myself and you go play with yourself while you're waiting. I don't know, whatever you got to do for you. And I'll be there soon. Or doing them together.
Yeah, yeah. No, totally. And I love a menu too. A menu is so good because something that works, and especially with women, because our cycle is every day is different for
Mhm.
us.
Mhm.
And so, what works for you when you're ovulating is going to be very different than what works for you when you just started bleeding. Those are going to be two very different human beings. And so, really paying attention to what do I need today? What do I need in this moment? Let me try a couple things and yeah, exactly like what you said, have no expectations that anything is going to do anything. And let's just see, let's find out, let's experiment. That's
Mhm.
my favorite, run
Mhm.
experiments. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I just finished our module on sexploration. So that's yeah. fun, fun stuff.
Yeah, I want everyone to just approach their life like it's one big experiment and there's no failure. You just create a hypothesis and then you test something and you're like, well, that was a terrible experience. We learned something though. We're not going to do that again.
Mhm.
Okay. And then like that one was a little bit better and like let's do more of that, more in that direction. And so, yeah, I think there would be a lot less pressure on people who try so hard to get it perfect or get it right if they just saw everything as this is just all an experiment anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. And Hannah, if we could, as we're getting to the end here, you did mention a few things like shaking and body, like self-soothing touch and things like that. But could you, for someone that's listening to this, like if they are able to identify, yes, I'm in fight or flight versus I'm in freeze or fawn, could you give a couple like somatic tools that people could tap into to try?
Yeah, for sure. If you can identify that you have too much energy in your system, one of my favorite tools is shaking. So, what that basically looks like, how I cue it is like basically stand up and then start with your hands, almost as if your hands were like dipped in water and you're like trying to get the water off your hands. And then proceed to increase that over your entire body and just letting your body jiggle, letting your head be crazy and loose. And imagine like this is like dogs do this all the time. You'll see a dog like get kind of charged up and then they'll just shake all the energy off their entire body. They're so smart in doing that. It's the exact same thing. So if you have a high anxiety or a lot of energy in the system, shaking is really, really good for that. Any type of movement, really, if you're feeling like too much energy, is going to be helpful. For someone who is in a lower energy state and wants to warm that energy back up, I like to think about it like just like water. Really, it's like okay, if you were in don't have enough energy in a water molecule, it freezes. So what do we do to add more energy to make it liquid? We like add some heat, we add some warmth. And so when you're in a low energy state, how do you add warmth? You can add a little movement. You can sway back and forth. Swaying and rocking is really, really helpful for someone who's like a little bit of shut down because it can bring that warmth and that energy. We're just like heating it back up really gently.
Mhm.
And walks. Honestly, like just getting the energy moving in a gentle way is really supportive if you don't have energy in your system. One last thing for really energy, any state that you're in, my favorite tool is orienting because, like I said, when you're grounded, you can see where you are. You are aware of your environment. You're aware of time and space. And when you're in an energy state that's not regulated, you don't know where you are. You're like teleported out of the moment into like who or whatever memory or trigger or whatever. So just looking around your space, using your neck muscles to turn your head side to side and look above you and behind you, it really like calms that part of your inner animal that's like, I'm not safe because you're taking in your whole environment to see, oh, actually, there's nothing here that's actually a threat. And that really, really supports the system.
Mm, love that. Yes, thank you. Is there anything that we didn't cover that you feel like people need to know? Anything that I didn't ask? Final words of wisdom?
I think that something that we didn't really cover necessarily is like we touched on it briefly that all of the signals from your body are intelligent bits of information. And so I think people often, when they feel some level of discomfort in their body or some sensation that doesn't feel that good, the tendency is to want to run away or avoid it or hide from it. But I want to really encourage or change it, right? Like we gave a bunch of tools for like changing your state.
Mhm.
But before you use any tool, what I would really recommend as a practice is just notice, just slow down and see how much you can actually tolerate what's happening in your body. How much of it can you let in and how much of it can you feel? Because the older I get, the more experiences I have, the more I really believe that whatever success we want to have in life is directly correlated to the amount of tolerance we have for feeling
Mhm.
life happen. So, the more you have capacity to actually slow down and be with what's going on in your body and not try to fix it and not try to change it right away, you're just going to gain so much more confidence and ability to be flexible with however life shows up for you.
Mhm. Yeah, so good. So good. Just a little genius you are.
Beep, boop, boop.
So, Hannah, how can people find you? I did mention your program, Intimacy Accelerator. Um, yeah, we have quite the extended wait list, but that is a good thing.
Um,
And yeah, yeah, tell the people where to find you.
I mean, the best place to find me is at the Libido Fairy on both Instagram and YouTube are the places where I hang out the most. Oh, cute. There we go. Flash in the brand.
Yes.
Um, yeah, you can find all my content like that or libidofairy.com, but all of that. It's all the same.
Awesome. And thank you again so much, Hannah, for coming on today. I think this will be helpful for people just to have a better understanding of what exactly somatics are and it is. And yeah, I'm glad that we were able to give some tools for people too.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thank you so much for listening to today's show. If you loved it, be sure to subscribe so that you never miss an episode. And if you really fucking loved it, make sure to tag me on social media at the Rachel Main. I'll see you next week.